To begin this piece of the grand puzzle, we will need to go back to December 24th. Yep, Christmas Eve of 1925, when a bright young man was born. Then if we fast forward to 1948, this man has graduated from the Yokohama Institute of Technology, setting the stage for 1955 in a post-World War II era. Masaya Nakamura, the son of an owner of a shotgun repair business, wanted work in building ships, but couldn't find it because of the current climate. So instead, after seeing his father's business success with pop cork guns, he decided to get himself into the business of amusement and founded Nakamura Saisakusho Co. in Ikegami, Tokyo. He started with 30,000 yen, which was equivalent to $12,000 over here, and decided to invest on 2 hand-cranked rocking horses, a form of entertainment once called a kiddie ride by James Otto Haas back in 1930. The Haas-gated mechanical horse. Gated refers to a horse that moves each leg independently, meaning that one hoof is on the ground at all times. When a horse is gated, essentially it has a genetic mutation. The DMRT3 gene gives them the power to move in a less typical way, such as a running walk, a tolt, a rack, or pace. The running walk is straightforward. However, a tolt is a smooth 4-beat lateral gait which makes a comfortable walk, whereas a rack is a fast, evenly timed bilateral gait in which each foot meets the ground separately at equal intervals, which makes it either a pace or trot, but a single foot because only one foot strikes the ground at a time. And then there's the pace, which is a lateral 2-beat gait, where both feet on the same side go forward at the same time. That term gated is important, because you can't really call it that when all 4 legs of a mechanical horse are off the ground at all times. It's a misnomer. So, the Haas gated mechanical horse was originally made out of wood, but was later cast into aluminum due to weight and cost considerations, and from one source was said to have once been activated by a crank, but was changed to use coin operation for monetary purposes. Naturally, for Nakamura, this was a huge hit with the kids, gaining a large profit, allowing him to cover other locations leading to 1959, where a business reorganization resulted in his company finally being renamed Nakamura Saisakusho Company Limited. But there's a number of details that just came to light. Backtrack to the 1930s, and we find out that the Nakamura family got by through a gunsmithing business that Masaya's grandfather passed down to Ryutaro, Masaya's father. It was inherited. They primarily dealt with air guns, non-lethal weapons that fired pellets for hunting and target practice. In addition to repair work, Ryutaro operated shooting galleries utilizing these air guns, plus sold and operated amusement machines in the early 1930s. So, amusement was also a family business. Now we get back to when Masaya was a young boy, where he was tasked with repairing guns and delivering newspapers to help with the finances. But his true desire was to become a naval officer, which we're aware of. As he grew older, so did his ambition to apply to a naval academy. But this dream was relinquished due to his nearsightedness, as he wore glasses for the rest of his life. But what didn't subside was his admiration for the sea and naval officers. After calculating his chances of being accepted, he entered the shipbuilding department of National Yokohama Technical College, which is today the Yokohama National University in 1944. He successfully graduated in 1948. Now we get back to the gunsmithing business after the aftermath of World War II, of said business being relocated into the Takashi Maya department store in Nihonbashi, Tokyo. That's right, they joined Sony Space. The two sold air guns, goods made of iron-like cooking pots, and even shoes. In 1952, Masaya established a branch of the business at the Mitsuya department store in Ginza, Tokyo. Serving as its manager, Messiah began pivoting towards Western management practices, and there were often disagreements between Messiah and his father about the repair business. Once Japan's sovereignty was returned by the occupying forces, the Nakamura business started experiencing hardships due to commodity tax on purchased goods and new regulations on firearms. Failing to resolve arguments with his father and seeing the decline of the business, Messiah decided to go independent, to not feel like he was betraying his father. While he contemplated his next move, he recalled a simpler time in his youth. More specifically, an amusement park that was located on a department store rooftop which he frequented. This park and its creator would not only play a pivotal role for his life, but would be considered reference points for the development of the Japanese amusement industry. There was another piece of the puzzle we never accounted for, and that was Kaiichi Endo. He was one of the earliest domestic producers of amusement apparatuses in Japan, and Endo gained notoriety in the 1920s for his candy vending machines and automatic rocking horses. As for around 1930, he was approached by the Matsuya department store company with a unique proposition. They were getting ready to open a new location in Asakusa, Tokyo, and they wanted to have an amusement park be on the 7th floor, the rooftop of the building. At that time, that concept was completely new. Endo's directive was to create a park that encouraged physical activity, one of which he would also supply the necessary machines to. After months of development, Sportsland opened atop Matsuya Asakusa in November of 1931. Sportsland hosted physical games such as strength testers and mechanical horse races using handles. There were also 2 gondolas installed on a ropeway. Over time, these machines were replaced with more family-friendly offerings, such as kiddie rides or miniature cars and trains. Taking notice of this new direction, department stores across the country opened up rooftop amusement parks modeled after Sportsland. It could not be understated that Endo's work left a lasting impact on amusement industry entrepreneurs, including a certain young boy who used to visit his park regularly. Re-enter Messiah. By the time Matsuya Asakusa opened, the Nakamura family lived not too far away from the store. A young Messiah visited Sportsland while clutching onto coins that his parents gave him. His favorite attraction was the miniature car, so when he could ride around the facility and seize the moment. Much later, thanks to Ryutaro's shooting gallery work, Messiah delivered air guns to Endo's residence in Tokyo, where everything went full circle at the crucial point in Messiah's career in 1955. After he went independent, Messiah had no idea what kind of business he would start, but what struck him was seeing the children in town playing tag in what were then ruins and back alleys of Japan. Due to the war, the amusement facilities were in varying states of destruction and disarray, so children had very few places to go. Seeing these kids reminded him of the times he used to have back at Sportsland, and later meeting Kaiichi Endo. Just then, he had an epiphany, one that served as the birth of his new career. He wanted to build a place that you could find on a department store rooftop, where these children could play happily and safely. So, with the 12K capital we once mentioned, and 2 total employees, his brother-in-law and 1 lady office worker, he set up office in what was then a room he was renting in his in-laws' house. It was a 6 tatami mat-sized room at the height of a rooftop amusement industry insurgence. But with the limited capital he had, the 3 employees' products they could offer at first were just simple attractions made from cheap materials. The first attractions they could operate were 2 rocking horses that Messiah found in his dad's store shed and were purchased cheaply. They had a cast metal head, an iron-plated body, a brown leather saddle, and legs that went up and down with a crank mechanism. Nakamura refurbished these horses by giving them a new paint job and putting in a yen slot for coin operation. He really couldn't have this park without these horses, yet there were already parks in this area. But our Messiah had an ace up his sleeve. There was a mutual contact at Matsuya from when he worked with his father. The contact introduced him to the manager of a Matsuya store in Isesaki-ko, Yokohama. After speaking to this individual, Nakamura was granted permission to install the rocking horses on the corner of the rooftop. With these horses, he had the business he always wanted, but the kids would only ride them once, and they were very well maintained. So, if the children were with their parents, he would encourage the kids to have fun by saying things like, "What a lively young man," or "What a cute young lady." This was just the incentivizing he needed to get them to stay longer and spend more coins. It's here on this roof that Nakamura started to grasp the art of selling experiences folks would enjoy. In the years to come, it was the rocking horses that became a key product of Nakamura Seisakusho, to the point they were, of course, showcased in the company's first logo. The next two attractions for the Yokohama Park that were added were goldfish scooping and telescopes. You see, in these days, scooping goldfish was a popular festival activity, and Nakamura felt it would make his new park a bit more appealing. So, he rode on trains with a bucket in his hand to the outskirts of Yokohama, merely to secure some of these goldfish. A small pool, roughly 25 centimeters deep, was prepared, and visitors used handmade scoops made from washi paper attached to wire. However, this activity proved too difficult to manage, as the goldfish would either die from motion sickness during travel or from the sun overheating the pool. So that attraction was off the table. As for the telescopes, the company secured surplus units used by the army for a very low price. Very likely the Unitron 114 or Seiko scope. After installing a timer and a shutter onto the scopes, they were set up on the edge of the Matsuya Isesaki-ko rooftop, where visitors could view the city for about a minute and a half. Overall, the telescopes had far fewer hassles than the rocking horses and goldfish, making them an easy addition at the park. Naturally, Nakamura Seisakusho's expansion into new locations would include its first partnership with a small coin-op company. Sometime after his first park opened, Messiah heard about a machine making the rounds in the Kansai area, one very similar to his telescopes. This particular device was a metal box with some binoculars attached, and 8 color illustrations which would automatically slide along a recorded narration. It was called Stereo Talkie, a magic lantern type device, originally commissioned by the Hankyu department store company as a tool to help folks navigate their shopping centers. And the inventor was Kenzu Furukawa, the founder of Kansai Seiki Seisakusho, or Casco for short, back in 1955. Kenzo founded his company all to create electromechanical amusement machines, and was officially incorporated 3 years later. Casco then repurposed their stereo talkie as an entertainment machine redubbed the Viewbox, and you could peer into it and look at picture slides. They had pictures from Japanese folktales, or small 5 or 6 panel comic strips. All it did was project these slides. However, this version of the product would not be released until 1986.
We gotta go back to 1955!
I don't believe it!
Soon after its release, Casco would modify those stereo talkies to offer viewable children's stories. In 1956, Nakamura purchased 5 machines which featured stories like Snow White and the 3 Little Pigs, and secured their installation at the Saikaya department store in Kawasaki, which is not too far from Matsuya Ishizaiko, of which this became
Nakamura's second store location.
When managers from different Saikaya stores observed this machine for the first time, they requested Nakamura to install units in their locations, just like his rocking horses. It would be destiny that the stereo talkies become a core product. So over the years, the relationship between Nakamura Saisakusho and Casco blossomed, with even Nakamura handling many of Casco's products in-house. Now back to the stereo talkies. Later, they added the ability to play back music. One was installed in zoos for the monkeys to look through. At the mall rooftop spaces, they installed mechanical rocking horses and later the mini drive in 1958, which was the original upright arcade cabinet. It had a steering wheel that was used to control a model car over a road painted on a metal drum, with the overall goal to keep the car centered as the road shifted left and right. It had a longer cabinet, which allowed for the long road, paving the way for audiovisual entertainment to come. Now, it was Nakamura's turn.